Hello everyone, GeneralApple here with the House in Fata Morgana playthrough part 9. So, last time we stopped at the most insane revelation that Maria was actually a traitor, which I called out, by the way, beforehand. Because I saw the signs and, it was kind of a huge setup before the revelation, but still, it was super annoying regardless. It was crazy, and I just really keen on continuing from where I left off last time. So let's just get right into it. Alright, here we go. I haven't changed a bit. If you seriously believe that, then I've got news for you, pal. Anyone who acts exactly the same as they did in the past is doing just that. Acting. Much like I do around you. Oh my god. Our friendship will never change. Ha! What an effing joke. Algorithm. I'm doing this for the algorithm. You picked the wrong girl to put in your trust in. And they call you astute. Can you taste the effing irony? Well, that just makes things easier for me. But my god, it's suffocating playing the good girl. That stupidly cheerful little ray of sunshine, Maria. Ah, sickening. On the other hand, the payoff is fantastic. I can't stop. God, watching him lose his cool was incredible. Wow. Alright. That's actually disgusting. My side hurts just thinking about it. I'm actually filled with rage right now. You're telling me she wrote this? Who else could have written it? It's in her handwriting. Why must she continue to betray me? Has she not taken enough already? What else could she possibly want from me? I told her to stay away from my gathering. I had the rose garden torn down, and yet still she finds other men. I warned her, told her it wouldn't happen again, that if she betrayed me one more time I'd kill her. Jacopo. Out of my way, Maria. I have to talk to her. Ask her what this letter's about, who this man is, and depending on how she answers. Hold it, Jacopo. Calm down. Silence. How am I supposed to stay calm right now? Listen to me. Relax. You try to talk to her right now, and you aren't going to get anywhere. You're aware of how frenzied you are, aren't you? Besides, you think she's going to tell you the truth even if you do manage to ask? Of course not. She may look all prim and proper, but that's not the real her. I don't think she is a bad person, but... Not a bad person? The woman who wrote this letter to another man, she crossed the line, you hear me? I agree with you there. She's gone too far with this letter. But remember, she's your wife and the daughter of a noble. You know exactly what will happen if you lose control of yourself and do something to her. It's not gonna look good for you. She may be nobility, but I have the Casca. We have our own way of taking care of this kind of problem. Still, it's plain as day. It will only make a bigger mess. No one else knows about this yet. Are you telling me to act like nothing happened when she so blatantly disrespects me? Jacopo, could you let me take care of it? I'm friends with the madam, you know that. She'll listen to me, so I'll make sure it gets through to her just how much you care about her. I couldn't ask you. It would be disgraceful. That's nothing to be ashamed of. What did I tell you? I'm on your side and you're on mine. We're in this together. You can ask me things you couldn't ask others to do. I have tight lips. Anything you ask, I'll keep absolutely under wraps. Damn it. You're right. Yes, you're right. I'm well aware that I always lose myself in her presence. If I try talking to her now, I will probably do something rash, yes. I'll make sure everything bursts out, got it? You and the madam can go back to the way things used to be, so you don't have to suffer anymore. I'll take care of it. I'm the only one who understands your pain, and I'm the only one who can help you out of it. Maria. Oh, don't make that face, Jacopino. Thank you, Maria. Please, let her know. that even if she is seeing other men, and even if she does silently mock me for not being of noble blood, that I still love her. That I don't want to raise my hand against her. So Jacopo is indeed a good man. You love her. That's a riot. You're too busy chasing your stacks of paper. You don't have what it takes to truly love a woman. I will say though, I was surprised you lost your head that badly. Quite a little crush you've got on her. You could just sit down and talk to her like a rational human being, and presto, all of your problem would be solved. But you can't even manage that, which is why you're in this predicament. Once you're convinced of something, Jacopo, you never let go of it. And she's too timid to speak up for herself. Sorry, madam, I get nothing against you. I just didn't expect things to go quite this well. There's no stopping now. Not when I've got this much momentum. I mean, what's her motive? What's her motive? Like, she wants him to himself, or she just loves toying with people? That's what I want to know. Rather than that, I would like to see her completely gone. Also, watching a pretty girl like you break down gives me goosebumps. Okay, yeah, that's... Okay, jealousy. That pretty much answered my question. You're still convinced I'm the only person you can trust. So she's even worse than the other maidens. How did he react to the letter? Well, yeah, about that. Did he not take it? Oh no, he took it, just... Don't feel too bad about this, madam. He said he's too busy with work and tossed the letter aside. I told him to make sure he writes your reply, but he hasn't gotten around to it at all. I see. That's a shame. It kills me to see you like this, madam. I don't get why he has to be so heartless. Not even taking a little bit of time out of his day to read the letter you poured your soul into writing. It's unacceptable. I'm sure. He really is busy. He did not write away though, did he? I imagine he means to read it when he has more time. Madam, after everything he's done to you, you still think he means well. I have faith. I think she wanted to chase her out. Yeah, for sure. My timing was poor, that's all. I believe in him. I believe that the day will come when he gives me his attention again, as he did before. Madam, so could I ask you to believe with me, Maria? To have faith that he will once more show me his love, and that mine will reach him? Something tells me that it all will work out if you pray for it. Yeah, okay. If you're fine with me praying, I'll pray. I'll get down on my knees for you, madam. I'll have faith. Thank you. I would like to write another letter. When it is complete, could I ask you to deliver it to him? I'll give him as many as you want. As many as it takes for you to get through to him. You're really out to learn not to be so trusting, madam. Take a real close look, and you'll see exactly who it was that ground your happy little life into dust. Thank you, Maria? I'm the reincarnation of the Mother of God? Man, I'm so pissed. Holy, okay, oh god, I can't hold back the laughter. This is a stage of my own creation. We didn't have enough actors, so the playwright had to take on a role herself. But that only adds to the excitement. Yes, this is all and all my masterpiece. You're just ignorant puppets dancing to my tune, from the first shoot to the last, blind to whose finger is sitting on a trigger. Listen to me, Jacopo, and try to keep your head. I saw the madam, meeting with another man behind your back. You know the arch in the rose garden? The far side out of sight from the mansion, making it the perfect place to hide. I saw her back there. From the looks of it, the madam is having her meetings with one of the men who comes to your business gathering. And they don't act like they're just friends. But just to be clear, I don't have any solid proof, so it'd be best if you didn't mention this to her yet. You wouldn't want to start throwing around accusation only to find out too late it was all big misunderstanding. I'll get to the bottom of it, so you... I think the madam might have her eyes on several men. Being woman, you know, I can tell these things. She's giving these suggestive looks, but to whom, I cannot pinpoint. A lot of people come in and out of this house, after all. What? You want to keep her from leaving her room? Ah, that might be for the best. With so much going so well, it makes me think even God on my side. They could just talk it over with one another, but they won't, and they're in deeper and deeper shit for it. You're the only one I can trust, Maria. And the timing that night, my God, it was perfect. This is actually a tough read. Hey, Jacopo. I could be misreading her, but something seems off about the madam. Like she's been on edge or something. I tried to egg her into revealing what's going on, but she's let slip that she might be going out somewhere tonight. She's not going with you, is she? You were going out to survey a construction site today, right? Oh, that's when he returned early. Then I suggest you get that taken care of quickly. A dance at this time of night? Yep, and since it's too late, it's so late, no loud music. All you get is a little whistling courtesy of me. But this room is so small too small. We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? He would probably complain about the noise too. No need to worry, Jacopo out inspecting some factory or something today. After that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night elsewhere. I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. And how would you know that? No, forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No, what would I possibly want you out of the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. What? What is that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say, you seem to be having quite the time. Look at you. You're out of breath. Breath as a beet. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? I'm sorry. This is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, and me bringing the perfume only made things worse. No, you need not feel about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interest at heart. She doesn't even suspect me in the slightest. I was able to put that perfume to great use. That money-sucking lich Tommaso showed up at the perfect time too. I'm pretty sure that's when Jacopo started getting actively violent. A jealous man is a wonderful thing, always imagining the worst and making matters worse for it. Wow, is that you, Tommaso? It's been so long. What brings you here? Oh, looky at who it is. Little Miss Campanella. There's a surprise. Didn't expect to see you at this side of the Great Blue. Oh, you know, I've been giving Jacopo a hand. Ah, well, color me impressed. After what happened, I wouldn't thought you want anything to do with him. That was between our parents. Jacopo didn't have anything to do with it. Well, would sure be nice for you younger generation to go through life without nothing to spark that kind of powder keg. Not that it's my place to talk. No need to worry yourself about any of that. So what brings you here, Tommaso? I'm a little, you know how it is, having a bit of trouble staying afloat. Ah, I see. So you're here to beg for offerings. Pretty shameless, Tommaso. No point in having shame if it ain't making money. Toss that out with that chamber pot. Hell, might make things easier if I just quit being human altogether. Are you that hard for cash? Unfortunately, number was supposed to go up, but for some reason, they end up going down instead. Might be best if you kick the gambling habit. No, that's like telling me to go off myself. I bet. So say, Tommaso, maybe I could pitch in a bit too? Oh, you mean it? That'd be a huge help. There's seriously not a scrap of shame in you. However, in exchange, I'd like you to do something for me. Someone whose face needs a visit for my fists. Depending on the number, I could also possibly cut him into chunks and toss him into the ocean. Whoa, keep it clean. I'm not asking you to do anything like that. What is it then? Something a lowlife like me can do. It'll be easy, and it's nothing bad either. You're going to go talk to Jacopo, aren't you? Well, there's something I'd like you to tell him while you're at it. You know he's married, right? He can get pretty nasty with his wife though. That's so. Sounds like she got it rough. She does, and she's religiously devoted to him too. I've been trying to nudge things in the right direction to get her back on good terms with him, but I haven't had much luck. Ain't that something the two of them should work through? Normally, yes, but it reached a point where I can't bear to sit back and watch anymore. I don't like seeing two of them in pain. I want to do something for them. How noble. You're pretty devoted yourself, little lady. Ha. I'm not important right now. Just doing the right thing. But the right thing is Jacopo won't hear a word of it. I figured maybe you, being a man, might be able to get through to him a little better than me. Doubt he'll listen to me either, to be honest. Come on, you used to be really close though, and I doubt he hates you. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anywho, talking something anyone can do. So what do you want me to tell him? I need to give him a little bit of a scolding. Tell him that the madam came to you asking for advice and that she accidentally let slip that the way he treats her day to day causes her grief. I've never met this wife of his before, you know. It works even better that way. She's so downtrodden she can't talk to anyone about it, and she thought that maybe you, being family, might be able to help. She never met you, but she still latched onto the ray of hope. And I'm sure when Jacopo find out she brought it up with family, he'll know he can't keep mistreating her. Things like this, they hit home harder when they come from someone on the outside. You make a decent point. Just remember, little lady, all I can do is bring it up with him. Can't guarantee it'll change nothing. That's all I need you to do. Thanks a bunch, Tommaso. Alright, one more thing. This is some perfume that's grown quite popular recently. Ask him to give it to the madam as a gift. If you won't take it, you keep it. Give it to another woman. Sell it, whatever you want. Perfume, huh? Very thoughtful of you. Women do like getting gifts like that. Yes, we do. If a big bad Jacopo gives us some of that, they'll be lovebirds again before you know it. I'm sure of it. Never thought the day would come when I got to play Cupid. Now I'm starting to get kind of excited about it. Stay focused, Tommaso, and thanks. Also, you didn't hear any of this from me. I'm fine just pulling the strings from the shadows. Damn. Curse upon her. Their relationship in complete shambles, and Jacopo still insists he effing loves her. And the madam says she believes in him. Seriously, how stupid can you be? Poor Jacopo. Poor madam. Now then, let's see where this boulder rolls to next, and how far it keeps rolling. Naturally, I'll be nudging it along its way. Because after all, a play lives or dies by the director's hand. Master, are you shocked? Or do you instead lament this development? I was deeply sorrowful, though to a lesser degree about Maria's true intention and more my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. At the time, I too believed that Maria was the white-haired girl, one and only ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close that I discovered the truth. Then, I now know how the tale ends, you say. Yes, that is correct. Well aware that it was not the case, I told you the story in a way that suggested that she was the white-haired girl's side. Oh my, I wonder if that constitutes lying to you, Master. I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning, when Maria's ill intention were still veiled in shadows. I want you to know the same feeling of consternation I had experienced. Oh, man. Oh, God. I can't take it any longer. The white-haired girl continued to write letter after letter. They were all addressed to her dear husband, detailing her ever-persistent love for him, and her desire for their relationship to return to what it had once been. My beloved, I am sure your hands are quite full right now, but that is fine. It does not change my love for you. Do you remember the day we went out together? That was, perhaps, The most wonderful day of my life. I had a truly incredible time. I still treasure the gift you gave me, for it is the one and only present I have received from you. That reminds me, Maria, try to teach me how to dance. I doubt I will ever progress beyond being laughably bad, though. It would be nice if someday you and I could dance together. Perhaps when you have a little respite from work, we could go out again. Maybe take a carriage somewhere a little further away, and we could dine at a restaurant more to your liking. Although I think the cuisine at the other restaurant was exquisite personally. Do I perhaps have an unrefined palate? Maria altered the letters before delivering, however. She changed the addressee from Jacopo to another man. She would cut away the top of the page with Jacopo's name on it, and in the space below write a different name. She could not have mimicked the white-haired girl's handwriting for the full length of the letter, but Maria could make a single name look adequately similar. And it would, after all, be quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such small quantity of text. Oh man. He's devastated. Again, another letter. Why does she keep writing these? To Jacopo's eyes, the modified letters look like professions of love for another one. The more she inscribed of her feelings for Jacopo, the greater the turmoil grew within his heart. Even though her love was directed toward him, I can't believe what I'm reading. A restaurant more to your liking. I knew it. You have been going out with another man, all the while pretending to be chaste in my presence. I still treasure the gift you gave me. God's sake. You have to be effing kidding. But I've ensured she can't leave the room. She'll never see this man again. In time, she'll let go. And so will he. I mean, that's the funny thing. That's like the most unbelievable thing here. Like, he just constantly refused to speak to her, and she can't leave the room, so how can she cheat on him? That's the only thing that kind of makes the story a bit, you know, a bit but the rest is like perfect. I mean, this is still like an 8 out of 10 story. But that's the only part that angers me. It's so unreasonable. It's so unreasonable. If you connect the dots. Listen to me. Resigning myself to the hope that everything will fix itself. How did I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite heartbroken at the sight of the suffering. But when she returned to her room, the walls echoed with her cackles. She delivered a great deal of entertainment from the squirming, and the more they writhed in anguish, the deeper satisfaction grew. And both of the white-haired girl and Jacopo continued to place their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl had never possessed a sense of distrust, and so she took everything Maria said as truth, continuing in her agony to write Jacopo letters. Letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It has been quite some time since we last saw one another, so I know not what you have been doing of late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possible, prefer to tell you everything in person, but I do not have the courage, so these letters are my only option. Am I adequately expressing my love for you? If you have the time, I would appreciate a response. You're never gonna get a response, though. Not as long as I'm intercepting them. There's no way I'm allowing these, or your love, to get to him. I could just stop reading them. It would certainly make things easier. But if I don't, my imagination will run wild. Fantasizing about her writing to this other man and what she might be putting in her correspondence. It'd be better off knowing the truth than torturing myself with fantasy. It's the better option. Jacopo accepted every letter Maria delivered without fail. He would merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, and then pore over the text when he was alone. I wish to see the end of this. This is so painful. I assume he did not want her to see his heart sinking into darkness. Had he put his trust in his wife rather than Maria? he would have almost certainly been able to realize the letter were directed at him, despite the altered recipient name. Everything she wrote about concerned him, after all. How could someone who lived as isolated as a life as her have so many identical experiences with two distinct men? Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps doubting her was simply easier. If you were in his position, would you trust her? Would you maintain faith in her, the woman who had waited so long? Would you believe the feelings she professed for you were genuine? She continued writing letters, days after day, week after week, without Hades. She had, by and large, run out of things to say, but that did not put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. My beloved, there's a little bit of fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in a thick fog. I'm not saying I would like to return, but thinking about it makes me feel rather homesick. Does that happen to you? That reminds me, aside from that one time, you have not told me much of your homeland. It would be nice if we could pay it a visit together sometime. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. I was unable to attend, but perhaps you had a chance when it was near you? I imagine you would have, with your interest in new technology. Next time you have a chance, I would enjoy hearing what they had on display. An exhibition? Ah, that's right, there was one. It was a year ago. Got quite a bit of attention since it was supposed to have been held in Paris. I was busy preparing for our wedding. I had no time to attend an exhibition, and while I was doing that, giving you, a woman I have never met before, my full attention, you're giving yours to a different man? Has this been going on for that long? Had he simply stepped up and taken action, he could have put an end to the stream of letters, each of which gave rise to further misunderstanding. He needn't merely ask the white-haired girl in person whom the letters were addressed, whether what they described were true, and the twisted threads of his confusion would have been all unraveled. But he made no such effort, relying instead on Maria to serve as an intermediary. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That just disconnects me from the story a bit. It seems so unreasonable. So unreasonable. Like, why someone would do that? It is so unreasonable. I feel as though I have now, at long last, come to understand what just kind of man Jacopo was. While he had a great deal of pride in his capabilities, he had far less confidence in himself as a person. If he had faith in himself, perhaps he could have had faith in his wife as well. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would not have been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid. Afraid of being rejected by her. Afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him. Where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully. Where she and countless others mocked him. The thought of it paralyzed him. The environment in which he had been raised played a significant part in his state of mind, I expect. Occasionally, the name on the letter would change. Maria was making the white-haired girl to having affairs with multiple other men? Oh god. She could never do such thing, of course, but Jacopo, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said. If I could figure out who this man is and where he resides, I could make him tell me every last detail about his relations with my wife. But what if that information went public as a result? If news of her infidelity spread, and were to reach the Casca? The fate of the Byzantes is in your hands, son. Oh, it's his father talking. There's a limit to what we can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we will wither away and die. And not just this family. This whole land will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against invasion as we waste away. I won't stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, our method may be crude and not always worthy of praise, but they produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous capo familia was an incredibly reticent man. It took all he had to merely preserve his small chunk of the world. But I'm not like that, and neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation to make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of the Berzanti family and the future of this country. It all falls on you. The marriage is happening too quickly. It would be madness not to hurry given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need the Berzati name climbing the social ladder in short order, or we're going to have everything ripped out from under us. If the woman isn't to your liking, you can find another one that is. She's only going to be your wife in name. But listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money? Yeah. Power? Yes, those are important. But what matters most is respect. No one's going to allow a couple familiar they can't respect. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's a judgment that's near impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through a forest, and once that flame's lit, the both of us will come crashing down. You must not let anyone look down on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of man a woman can walk all over. If, by any chance, your fiancé is ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never be content with someone above you. And never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. This is your responsibility. The fate of the Byzantium is in your hands. Oh, all the stuff. Everything is on his mind right now. I must keep intercepting her letter. I must keep her locked up. I still have work to do. I cannot allow anyone to learn about how she disgraced me. Kill her. That's how my old man says to handle it. That's the last resort. It's not. Not yet. God damn it. It's downright wrong for me to even be having these feelings for someone. Oh my god. Please just talk to her, man. Master, your carriage is waiting outside. How are you coming along? Coming along? Oh, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. I'll be right out. Have him wait. Is something the matter, Master? You look a little hazy. I'm fine. If you're not feeling well, you should stay. I said I'm fine. It's not your job to try and infer my condition. Yes, sir. Damn it, keep it under wraps. Act like normal. You can at least do that much, damn you. Take care on your trip, Master. Yeah. It's not the usual coachman. I also feel like I've seen him somewhere. Your fault. What? That we... Hey, speak up. Die, Jacopo. Oh my god. An assassination attempt? Oh, Lord. Master? There's a knife in your stomach. Oh, someone, anyone. Silence. Don't make a scene. Call a doctor. Yes, sir. Now I remember where I've seen him before. That's right. I put his factory out of business. I needed it out of the picture to expand my own business. I guess he held a grudge about that. I should have been more careful. Blood flows with surprising abundance from a stab wound. It's not stopping either. Oh my god. The world is going white. Come on now. You got to be kidding. Oh wow. That is insane. I know very well what kind of man you are. You wouldn't hesitate to lead a blind man off a cliff if it furthered your own goals. You make money off other lives. You stand upon a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, love comes as naturally as flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotion, and you never have. You've always been this way. I guess that's Maria talking. I can only assume. My childhood was day after day of mockery. You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means anything, they would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal. But she was the only one. I wanted to show them up, and to do that, I had to rise to the top, or at least high enough that I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had value as a man who actually wants to go through life being laughed at. I mean, I should have pronounced it as a question. I had to make them recognize that what I did had value. And I needed neither love nor compassion to do it. Or that's what I thought. Oh. In the beginning, I only ever intended to use that woman. I simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. That's what I thought. Or rather, that's why I endeavored to make myself think. But deep down, I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman who was being made to marry a man she had never even met before. I'm sure what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved, but because her family wanted to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her. It didn't have to be anything grand. I genuinely wanted that. The day of our wedding was when I first saw her. Her face, partially obscured behind a veil, was gorgeous, and crucially, she was smiling at me. I had expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes, but instead she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted to be a permanent part of my life. I truly did want to ensure she always had a smile on her face. Oh, please talk to her, man. Please, please let it be a good ending. The other two parts have a really bad ending. I truly hope that the third part, which is the best by far, will have a good one. Is this my room? I'm alive? Damn it, I feel nauseous. What time it is? The world's a blur. So hot. Oh, the white-haired girl. You mustn't get up. The doctor said bacteria entered your body through the wound. Because of that, you have a very high fever. What are you doing here? I was told you had been badly wounded, but thankfully it was not fatal. How did you make it out of the... Pardon? Oh, I see. Maria opened it. Would you like some medicine to reduce the fever? It should help you feel better. Yes. No. Stay by my side for a little longer. Is there anything I can do for you? You can ask me anything. My hand, your hand. Could you hold my hand? If you don't want to, that's fine. Like this? Please tell me it's not dreaming of something. I'm going to be pissed. Your hand is quite cold. It probably feels this way because of your fever. So, yes, I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. To tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you were what I'd been searching for my whole life. Laugh if you'd like. I felt like I finally found you. But I couldn't act around you the way I honestly felt. You should get some sleep. Could you keep holding my hand until I fall asleep? Okay, that's not the white-haired girl. That's someone imposing as her. Probably Maria. If you don't want to, that's fine. My hand is in yours. Thank you. You appear to be quite delirious, master. Those things you should be telling your wife, not me. Oh, okay, okay. Thank God. You know what? I'll accept this. That, that is semi-okay. Ah, it was all a dream. Of course it was. It wouldn't be that easy. And she would never come to my room. She's involved with other men. Jacopo, may I come in? I have another letter. The white-haired girl, persistent letters did not improve anything, but simply stoked the flames of misunderstanding. This continued for several months. Though outside the sun shone with the gentle warmth from spring, the cold, bitter winds of winter still relentlessly blew between Jacopo and his wife. Not allowed to leave her shed and never receiving a reply to her letter, the white-haired girl's only source of information was Maria. Week after week, her circumstances remained the same, but something else was beginning to show signs of change. Her mental state. It's pointless, madam. You're only wasting your time at this point. I saw him throw your letters into the fireplace. He's not going to read anything you write, no matter how much of yourself you pour into it. He cares more about money and work than love. That's the kind of man he is. Just give up and file for divorce already. No, I will get through to him. Everything will go back to normal. I have faith. All my letter may go up in flames, but my faith will not be lost with them. As long as I keep writing, eventually I will get through to him. So I cannot stop. I cannot. Do you have any idea what he says about you, madam? Jacopo doesn't trust you in the slightest. He goes around calling you a witch, a man-eating devil woman. It's awful. There's no one as pure and as beautiful as you. He says, I'm a witch. Listen to me, madam. He never for a second actually loved you. He just wanted the influence attached to your name. Wanted to mingle with the upper class. He used you. But last year, when we went out together, he gave me the Fanky's wheel at the photography shop. He had the owner make it especially for me. He was just trying to win your favor. If he really cared for you, he wouldn't have gotten you a paper toy. He would have gotten you something like a ring or a necklace or some perfume, a nice dress, something women really like. Has he ever given to you anything like that? He doesn't have any feelings for me? I'm sorry. I just couldn't stand to see you going through this, but I don't know when to shut up my fat trap. I went too far. The last thing I need to be doing is hurting you worse. You know, for everything I've said, your unwavering dedication is really impressive, madam. I know I've suggested you get divorced, but to be honest, part of me kinda doesn't actually want you to split up. Despite knowing you staying with him, it's just causing you pain. You've made it this far. I'd like to see you make it all the way. Maybe you'll actually start paying attention. Your sweetness can melt even his heart of steel. Yes, you're right. I will keep waiting, keep writing, and I will not divorce him. Yeah, alright. So please, keep delivering my letters to him. You are my only remaining connection to the outside world. Oh yeah, one more thing. If it's not too much trouble, could you tell me how he has been and what he has been doing lately? I do not have much else to write about. So if I could at least relieve him of some of his work-related stress, I'm his wife after all. I should be able to do that much for him. I'm his wife. Her dedication to him perhaps closer to an obsession, but she did not seem to be conscious of the fact that her obsession was killing her. She was visibly losing weight and her spirit was breaking down. It is said that emotion fade with time, but the opposite can also be true. The act of waiting or fervently believing for so many months despite the object of one's affections not returning to them can tear apart a person's heart, crush their soul, shatter their spirit. No matter how radiant, how thick-skinned they may be, with enough time, it will wear anyone down. No one is immune. It's pointless, Jacopo. Wait all you want, you won't get her back. If she's going to be writing letters, she could at least write one for you. She looks so pure, pretty as an angel, but God Almighty, it is only how she looks. You changed a bit. What? Have I? The old you would be yelling and screaming, chomping at the bit to go storming in on the madam. Now you just go quiet. I'm just a little tired. You couldn't break it off then. What? You've already made a name for yourself in high society. Nobody's gonna go suddenly start ignoring you. You've more than put her family name to good use. To put in your own words, it's no longer necessary. This isn't something I really want to say, but the madam has never liked you. She was married off to a total stranger and forced to leave her home. I'm sure she felt very alone, and so she sought the companionship of other men. Anyone who wasn't you probably seemed quite attractive to her. So, without getting violent or threatening to kill her or anything, just end it already, quietly and without a fuss. It will be easier for you that way. I cannot. Because you still love her? That's wonderful, Jacopo. After everything, you still love her. That's just blind, slavish devotion at this point. Perhaps it is a foolish, unhealthy obsession, but I do not wish to sever ties with her. I cannot get the image of her smile out of my head. The look of utter elation on her face as she looked through the fankistico. Those captivating eyes beneath the veil at a wedding. I will never, for as long as I live, forget those sights. Color me surprised. You're a sentimental one. Well, I guess you always have been the kind of mushy, haven't you? True to your heart, despite how you may look. That's not a bad thing, though, in my book. There's nothing but pain in it for you now, but all you can do is wait until she stops writing. But don't worry, if you need to let off some steam, I'm all ears. I'll be here for you until she breaks it off with the other men. No, that will not be necessary. What? I know very well that things cannot continue on as they are forever. I knew it from the beginning and still couldn't do anything. This time, I'm planning on facing her myself. You serious, Jacopo? Yes. I've relied on you for too long. I was afraid of what I might do to her, but I didn't want anyone to find out that my wife was being unfaithful. And though the best way to ensure that was by locking her away from anyone else, but the situation is not going to improve unless I do something. If I allow things to continue as they are, sooner or later, word of her infidelity will leak. So, before that happens, I must face her myself. I must do something. It's probably best if you didn't. I'll tell her anything you want, make sure things start improving. I appreciate everything you've done, and I apologize for getting you involved in our troubles. But I'm going to end it now. No, I must put an end to it. This is a problem between me and her. You might get violent again if you go see her face to face. Yes, I might. I might do something that would look rather bad for me. But it's reached a point where, until the two of us face up to each other, it's never going to go away. It took me far too long. I wasted too much time trying to find my resolve. I see. You'll need a way to break the ice then. Break the ice? Right. If you got some convenient excuse to talk to her, it will reduce some of the tension to make it easier to bring up what you need to bring up, right? Here's an idea. The transcontinental railroad you've been funding. That's supposed to be opening up pretty soon, isn't it? Yes, it is. There'll be message by telegraph when it happens, right? You can ask her to be there to hear it, and then you can invite her to ride the first train. You've put your heart and soul into this project, and it's finally being realized. It's going to be an amazing day for you, and a day like that, ripe for more good things to happen. It's going to be the accomplishment of a lifetime. Don't look so down in the dumps. You're sending trains across this massive continent, carrying on them the people of this country's dreams. Who says you can't stick a dream of your own on it too? Right, yes, you have a point. A railroad that spans from coast to coast. She's a sickly girl, which will make long trips difficult. But this new rail system should make them much less draining. It will allow me to show her the world. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm getting excited myself. It will go great, I'm sure of it. Yeah. Oh, what's the plan? What is she trying to do here? Oh my god. My sides. Seriously, they're goddamn riot, the both of them. They keep on trusting me and keep on getting hurt. They don't have to be going through any of this. Ah, my god, Maria are terrible. And these people call me the Holy Mother. I bet the real Mary rolling in her grave. Now, I must say I wasn't expecting to make a move, Jacopo. Shame that. The squirming loser paralyzed by insecurity is a better role for you. If they do end up figuring it out, tough shit. Doesn't hurt anything, just takes away a bit of my fun. I don't understand why he's so infatuated with this railroad. I mean, I do sort of get romanticizing steel, but my kind of still a little smaller scale. Anyway, I suppose it's about time to get things moving. No matter how this plays out, you will not have a happy ending, Jacopo. You're going to get a real taste of how much I despise you. Why does she hate him so much? Because of the family feud? Maria, there you are. What is it? I'm on a break right now. You were assigned to clean the cellar today, weren't you? Well, headmate's saying it hasn't been done yet. What? I did, I cleaned it. Just a casual once over, but hey. Well, do it again, and do it right this time. Because if you don't, it's gonna fall on me. And that's supposed to make me give a damn? I mean it. You take care of it. You get enough special treatment as it is. Yeah, right. I heard you the first time. I'll take care of it. And don't you forget it. Oh, for God's sake, why would I have to be the one to tell her? Is she gone? What a pain. Who cares if the damn cellar is clean? Not like anyone bringing guests down here, yeesh. I guess I should take care of it. Better than the tongue lashing by the head maid. God, why did I have to be made anyway? What a dank place. It's so dark and humid here. It makes me feel gross. Huh? Someone there? Hello? Hello, is anyone there? It came from further in. Whoa, it's seriously dusty back here. Who was supposed to clean this last week? Well, clean the whole thing next time, damn it. Just makes my job harder. Disgusting. Damn cobwebs. Oh my god, oh dear god, I do not want to clean this. Oh, for God's sake, stack this stuff properly. Now I've gotta fix this whole mess, for the love of... What's this? Something carved into the floor? Never noticed that before. Someone get bored one day? What do we have here? It's seriously mostly illegible. Let's see. It's not written in English, but my native language? But it's not modern, it's really archaic. Why on earth would an old form of my country language be carved into the floor mentioned built here in the New World? Most of it illegible, but I can make out one section. Our lives. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those with sin upon their souls for the redemption of those whom are pure. Oh, thank God, some divine punishment is up ahead. Thank the gods. Should you mean not to dispel your curse, we implore you, O witch, to mark with it only their bloodlines. The blood of the sinners flows through those who dwelt within this house, but not I. What in the witch? That's crazy. That's crazy. But why does the handwriting looks like mine? It's just coincidentally similar. No one's handwriting is perfectly unique after all. Why am I so sweaty? It's not that hot down here. No, forget it. Didn't see a thing. Not a chance it's real. Just tasteless prank. This is silly. Huh? There's something in this box. Is that a painting? Has that always been here? White hair, fair skin. Is this the madam? But then, why is the face all torn up? and her clothes look really old-fashioned. The painting seems worn and faded too. Something about it feels off. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very creepy, unsettling. The writing on the floor and this painting. What is with this house? It's just a painting. Nothing to get weirded out over. I bet I know what happened. Jacopo probably slashed it up in a fit of jealousy. He's a simple man. Seeing this probably wouldn't put him in the best mood. Oh man, I've sent some divine justice. That is good, that is good. Give me some JoJo Part 4 ending up in here. We need it. What was that? Is someone there? The door is open? Nobody's there. What's this? A painting? Who could have left it here? Is that me? Why? But my face, it's been cut. No. Why would someone have this painted just to do this? Who would do such a thing? You're like a witch, my dear. Like a demon. Your very presence brings misfortune upon others. You're cursed. Oh my god, I'm not. What was it, you, Jacopo? Did you have this painted so you could destroy it? Do you really despise me to that extent? What did I ever do to make you hate me so? Why? I all I'm looking is waiting for you, you worthless tramp. Are those ears only for show? This house has no need of a garden. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Silence, it's all your fault, every last thing. Then say goodbye to your freedom. I'll kill you. Does the mere act of waiting impose upon you? Does my mere presence pervert you? Would it be better if I were gone? Would it be better if I left this mansion? If I left you? I don't think I can wait much longer. There's no end in sight. I can't take it any. There's no end. No, I will set a deadline for when I give up waiting. When the project you pour your heart and soul into is complete. When the railroad opens, I will be finished waiting. And then it's over. The Pacific Railroad last spike ceremony was drawing near by the day. That day was, coincidentally, the deadline that the two of them set for themselves, Jacopo to confront his wife, and the white-haired girl to wait for him. And as the day approached, she continued to write letters. She wrote the letters purely by force of habit, despite having been worn visibly by him, visibly thin. I expect that she would not stop, that the act of writing was all that kept her from going mad. By focusing her attention on another person through her letters, she was able to maintain her grip on herself. But that day would put an end to her suffering and despair. When the railroad was completed, all of this misunderstanding would be cleared up. They would return to the smiling, happy couple they had been when they were first married. The harsh winter would finally come to a close, melting away into the past and allowing them to step into the future. With constant prayer in my heart, I impatiently waited for the railroad opening ceremony. I do not, after all, wish for anyone to fall into any kind of misfortune. That goes for you as well, master. Now, master, the door is soon to be shut upon this area. Sarah, are you prepared to see what happens next? Yes, please. I see. Very well. Then allow us to make a way to that final day. See with your own eyes, master, how this tale concludes. And please, do not let go of my hand. Please, a good ending. Please, for the love of God. The night before the opening ceremony, the master of the house headed for his wife's shed. There was a tension on his face, but surety in his step. He had found the resolve to speak with her. Having locked her away for so long in the shed like a common prisoner, Jacopo was hardly optimistic about what she might have to say to him. He had undeniably mistreated her, said heartless and cruel things to her, and even gotten physically violent with her. His actions were inexcusable, even if they were in response to her infidelity. Of course, the very infidelity which had driven him to such behavior had not, in fact, taken place, but he was unaware of that. There was a chance they would never reconcile the misunderstanding, and that this predicament would not have positive resolution. But he still clung to a tiny fragment of hope. He wanted to start over with a white-haired girl, to make a new future with her. With that desire burning strong in his heart, he stood before the door to her shed and called out to her. Are you awake? It's me, Jacopo. May I come in? I won't hurt you. I will not raise my hand against you again. I swear to you, I will not do you harm. I will do you no harm. I just wish to speak. I would like to have a calm, rational conversation, and as such, I will not enter your room until you have given me your permission. So may I please come in? You won't even give me a response. Alright. Considering how you must feel about me, I shouldn't be surprised. Fine then, you don't have to let me in, but please at least hear me out. Do you remember the day shortly after we first met, when we went on our honeymoon, if you can even call the little walk we took a honeymoon? I was unable to do anything nice for you then either. I had no experience, no idea how to interact with an upper-class woman like you. I didn't know what I should do for you. And yes, I know, that makes me sound juvenile. I have a tendency to say things I don't mean the more perturbed I get. I'm sure I said things to hurt you numerous times that day. However, at the photography shop, when you saw the Fenkistrope, you smiled for me. I was genuinely pleased in that moment. I felt like I had gotten closer to you. I very much doubt that was actually an appropriate present for a noble woman like yourself. Jewels or flower or something like that, something beautiful, would have certainly suited you better. And I knew that, but I assumed you would not have been given gifts like that. Countless times in the past. You are, after all, a beautiful woman. I did not want to have to compete on the same field as the other men. I want to be special. No, I want to be unique to you. No one had ever shown you anything of the sort before, had they? Frankly, I wasn't sure if a woman of your status would take any interest in a Fenkiscope at all. I imagine you've thrown it out by now, but I choose to believe you sincerely liked it on that day. That if just for a moment I caught your eye, even if you started seeing other men afterwards, that moment was real, wasn't it? Our marriage was, at its core, nothing but an arrangement between our parents, an exchange of money and influence. That was how it began, but that day I loved you. I yearned to see you smile, as if I had loved you my entire life. The Pacific Railroad has finally been completed. That's the project I've been funding. Everyone thought it was crazy, but a railroad now stretched across beneath the breadth of this country. A joining ceremony will be held tomorrow. It's going to be a grand event. Locally, they're planning on doing a gun salute, and the sound of the last spike being driven into the ground will transmit it across the country via telegraph. I've procured a telegraph, so we can listen to it here in the mansion. In your condition, you would probably have trouble handling the crowds at the telegraph station, but here you could celebrate in the comfort of your own home. I suppose what I'm saying is, I want to celebrate this with you. I have made arrangements to make that possible for you, because I wish to have you there with me. Would you be willing tomorrow to celebrate the completion of the Pacific Railroad with me? Would you be there at my side? Please, say something. I want to start over. I know very well what I've done to you. You may be at fault yourself, but what I did is unacceptable. But what I did was a consequence of my overpowering love for you. I swear it. Why will you not answer me? Say something, anything, please. You can hear me in there, can't you? If you don't want to, you can just say no. If you reject me, I'll set you free. I won't hurt you, promise. Oh, the door is not locked? Who opened it? Hello? Oh god, what happened? A humid spring breeze brushed against his cheeks. The drawn lace curtain appeared to glow in the gentle moonlight. The white-haired girl was not in her room. Where have you gone? Stupefied, he glanced about his wife's chambers. To my eyes, the neatly organized room appeared no different than any other day, but to his eyes it was pale and hollow, for the one who was supposed to be there, who was supposed to be waiting for him, was not present. He could not hear her voice from anywhere in the shed. In its place echoed a dry rustling, a sad, pitiful, empty whisper of a noise. It came from the lone object left abandoned atop her desk, the fankyscope. It was the only present Jacopo had ever given to the white-haired girl, a toy made of paper. When spun and viewed in the mirror, it created the illusion of a man and a woman dancing. You, you still had this? That's ridiculous. I assumed you had that thrown it out. The white-haired girl had evidently made a considerable use of the fankyscope. The paper was visibly worn and tattered, wrapped in places, and had even begun to yellow. It spun slowly in the wind, rustling and rustling and rustling, spinning in an endless reminder of the day the year before, though there was no longer anyone around to look through it. Why, you are with other men. Why would you keep something I gave you? It's so worn. Why? I'm starting to realize. A letter. Oh, please, yes, tell me you found a letter. As if it drawn to. Oh, I think I skipped something. Beneath the ever-rotating fankyscope lay a single sheet of paper. As if drawn to it, he scanned the contents of the parchment. Thank God. As if drawn to it, he scanned the contents of the parchment. It was a letter addressed to Caro mio Jacopo. The salutation, written in his native language, translated as follows. My beloved Jacopo, did the fruits of your dream turn out as you hoped? I am sure it was wonderful and impressively fast. A train that can travel across a continent as large as this is like something out of a story. I wish I could have been there to see it. Oh man, the day was mistaken. She ran away. I'm sure it would have been quite pleasant, like the day you gave me the Fanky's wheel. Am I being presumptuous? I'm sorry. I thought I would keep waiting for you forever, no matter how much you hated or ignored me, but I made up my mind, so I'm sorry. I decided I would wait for you until the railroad was complete. I foolishly thought that you might invite me to the opening ceremony, but it seems I'm not good enough for you. I'm going to take my leave of your house. You needn't concern yourself with me any longer. However, I do have one request. Please do not forget. About all the letter I wrote, think back on them from time to time. Do not burn them all, for they contain my thoughts and my feelings, my words, my records of my love for you. Remember, when you can, that I was always watching you. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble writing. My ears are ringing. Their voice is whispering to me, calling me a witch. Maybe it's your voice. My vision is blur. I'm not even sure what is going through my mind. I'm sorry, this was all I was able to write for you. I'm truly sorry. I will leave the Finky's will behind. It was my dearest treasure. Farewell. I love you. Oh my god, please, happy ending. Happy ending, or I'm going to swear to God. What the hell is this? He was visibly rattled, and unsurprisingly so. The mention of the transaction railroad opening ceremony, the letter she had written, her dearest treasure, her profession of love for him, and above all, the mangled text that appeared to have been written by someone not entirely in the right mind. Everything about it served to amplify his befuddlement. You waited for me? How can that be? The joining ceremony is tomorrow. It hasn't happened yet. Why did you have to leave then? I'm here. I came for you just as I planned. The ceremony is on the 10th. A second later, Jacopo gasped. The date written on the letter was the day prior, May 8th. Originally, the ceremony was planned to be held on May 8th, 1969. Nice. However, due to bad weather and a labor dispute, it had been postponed for 2 days. This can't be. I made sure you were informed. I had Maria. Maria. The madam is having an affair. Maria. No, you couldn't. Scattered fragments of memory began coming together in his mind. Maria was the only one who had informed him of his wife's supposed unfaithfulness, and though the letter had not been addressed to him, thinking back on it, they had all been about him. In one letter she had mentioned treasuring a gift. Jacopo had assumed it meant a gift from another man, but in fact she had been referring to the Fankiscope sitting atop her desk, still spinning in the wind. At long last he finally made a connection, and at the same time he realized that the only person he could have altered the letter was someone they both trusted. Maria. Never. She never even once betrayed me. She was not unfaithful at all. She waited unwaveringly for me, and I refused to believe her. I caused her pain again and again, but this realization came far too late. The white girl's spirit had broken, and she was no longer at the mansion. Had he caught on to Maria's machinations sooner, things would not have turned out as they had. But he was much too late. Maria, why would you do this? Clenching the letter from his wife, Jacopo stormed out of the shed in search of Maria. She probably was the one that opened the door and made her escape. She was not in the room assigned to her. Where are you? Where have you gone? Several maids were roused from their slumber by the racket, but no one had the courage to speak up to the master of the house, frantically charged through the hall. Eventually he arrived at his own chamber. He was certain he had closed the door before leaving, but now a silver of light shone through the gap between it and the frame. From within the room he thought he could sense someone's presence. When he opened the door, there he sat comfortably perched upon his own chair, a woman. I've been waiting, Jacopo. God damn it. Kill her, man. Do it. Nice room you got here. Though I guess that's only natural, you being the man of the house and all. All this fancy furnishing. You do know the stuff's too good for you, right? And then me. I get that barren little maid room. Drives me up the wall. So hey, Jacopo. Clear the air with your little lady, yeah? Maria. I love that look on your face. I'm guessing you didn't make things better then. You know good and well that she's not even here anymore. Well, yeah, but I still want to hear you say it, you know. I want to hear from your own mouth that you couldn't keep a leash on your woman, so you locked her up, drove her mad, broke her down, and then she ran away from you. Go on, say something. Climb back on your horse and start shouting like you always do. Why, Maria? Why would you do this? Why? Why do you think? Because I despise you. I've been trying to figure out how I want to end things, but then they just fell apart on their own. The fates are smiling down upon me, I guess. Nonsense. She was waiting for me until the day of the joining ceremony, and I was going to see her on that day. You knew the ceremony had been postponed. That's what you get for putting it all in my hands. For thinking I'm the only one on your side. What did you think I just tell her like a good little maid? Not a chance in hell. I mean, talk about some fantastic news. You both picked the same day, but you got the dates different. Absolutely perfect. Maria, is that how you always felt? How long have you held this grudge against me? How long? How long? How goddamn dense can you be? Must be nice living in your little fantasy world, Jacopo. And this is the next capo familia. Ah, my god, my sides, so you've always hated me. At the very least. I've loathed you since the minute we had our reunion. At first, I did try to convince myself you had your reasons. Didn't make it feel any less unfair, though. You had all of your money and your power and everything else you stole from me. And then you go and get hitched to this pretty little lady? Oh, don't try to act like you're the victim here. This is all on you. Do you have any idea how I felt? Falling from grace, made your goddamn maid, having to suck up to you. Do you have any idea how infuriating that was? Or did you think I didn't know anything? Did you think I didn't suspect anything? If you did, you've got your head way up in the clouds. So you were motivated by your grudge against my family, the Bersatis? Precisely, that's exactly it. Your father wanted so badly to be the capo familia, he wanted so badly to be in power, that he murdered my dad and grandpa. They say it was a carriage accident, but the ground was all torn to hell where it happened. You wanna tell me that kind of carriage accident caused it to explode? As soon as my dad and grandpa died, your dad took over as a capo familia. The balance of power in the factions began to change. My family, and anyone with ties to the Campanellas, was either exterminated or exiled. The Rosatis took control of the city. My grandpa Casca became your Casca. No one in their right mind would be naive enough to think the Rosatis didn't have a hand in that. I knew it. Okay. He's paying for his father's crimes. The great Campamella family, bitten by their pet dog, except the dog had rabies, and as a result, in time, that lush historic land will wither away and die. My dad and grandpa, buried in the dried up earth, are screaming in their graves even now. You can't prove me wrong, can you, Jacopo? And now, first in line to be the next Capo Familia is you, his son. Naturally. Feels pretty good, don't it? Slaughtering my family, leaving us to wallow in the mud. Well, you live here like a king. Because of what your family did, I don't have a home to go back anymore. No house, no prestige, I have nothing left. And that's a goddamn outrageous. The Campanellas are supposed to run that city. But instead, you filthy Berzati, our curs are crawling over it like some kind of infestation. I am a legitimately Campanella, but I'm stuck being your goddamn maid. If I hadn't been born a woman, I would have become the capo familia after my dad and my grandpa died. But because I am a woman, I couldn't retaliate. I just had to sit. And, okay, I didn't. That was too fast. But because I'm a woman, I couldn't retaliate. I just had to sit on my hands and watch the tragedy unfold. It was absolutely miserable. So I had to make you suffer as well. I had to make you No, I had to make you twice as miserable as I was. You had no reason to hate anyone but me. Why did you make her a part of this? Did you have some grudge against her too? Not particularly. I actually liked the madam. Sweet, pretty, kind-hearted, timid, and fragile. Trusted every word I said. A splendid little toy. You thought of her as your toy. Now, can you really call me out for that? You can. You have no right. You never cared one bit about anyone else. They all first footstools to you. It's a little too late to find yourself a sense of morality. This whole thing, it could have been avoided if you two had a single conversation. But instead, the both of you come crawling to me, saying you're my only ally, Maria. How tense can you be? Of course I thought you were my ally. I trusted you, as I'm sure she did too. Then you should get your eyes examined because you can't see a damn thing, Maria. My god, it was beautiful. The way you two blindly trusted me, creating your own misunderstanding and causing your own pain. How could you never seem to get on the same page? Watching it all fall apart. Maria, is that everything? The extent of your grudge and all you did? Yeah, that's everything. All that's left is for me to kill you! Oh god. Hold still now, I wouldn't want to miss. Oh Lee, Maria, you... Oh goddamn. Does our past mean nothing to you? Was that oath just an empty promise? How could it when you remember so clearly? Fine, I'll explain it for a little romantic boy. Bad grown-ups will even take advantage of good memories. It's time I finally return this to you, Jacopo. That cartridge you gave to me, packed with your disgusting sentimentality. No! Killing you ain't the end, though. Old Berzadi curs, I'll send every last one of you straight to hell. My revenge had just begun. Even if you had been a man, you wouldn't have been suitable capo familia. You should have aimed between my eyes. Oh my god. Oh, whoa! No way! Oh man, he actually gave her the old Wild West style. Oh my god, right between the eyes. He gave her the Tor sentence. Or I guess the Tano sentence. Why? Why? Oh my god, that was sick! Are you kidding me? That was sick! Holy! In a panic, I pulled the trigger, and from the barrel, a bullet went flying. Quite literally, right between her eyes. Would anyone ever believe me if I said that I want to things turn out? Young Maria. The rain just keeps on coming. Wonder if we'll be able to go home today. Hey, Jacopino, say something, you little wuss. Be quiet. You're gonna give me a headache. The lightning way louder than me. You jumped, Jacopino. You're such a baby. You jumped too, and stop calling me that. Don't be scared. Don't cry. I'm not crying. Your eyes are damp too. I'm not crying, not at all. Not one bit. Liar. There's no end to this rain, is there? I'm fine. If it doesn't stop, there's nothing at home for me. You don't want to go home? Your parents don't get along, huh? That's got nothing to do with... Liar. You've got it good. Everyone loves your grandpa. Whenever anyone needs something, they come to him. No, there's a great man. How'd my grandpa become part of it? Oh, no reason. Not everyone likes him. He gets just as much hate as love. Grandpa not really a model citizen. He's mostly just shrewd. Are you jealous? I'm not. My old man is, though. Huh. Easy now. Well, your dad got his good points too, I think. Like, I don't know, he seemed like the kind of man who can accomplish big things. Though he seems a lot stricter than my grandpa. Oh, come on, I don't get you. What are you climbing up for? No reason. If you don't want to go home, then how about we go somewhere far away from here? Huh? Once it stops raining, let's get out of here. Head up to the capital, find some work. We could make it work, the two of us. Oh, and we'll bring you nearer, of course. If we could, that would be nice. Break free of the city and its outdated traditions. Head somewhere bigger, more forward-thinking. If only it were possible. It's alright, Maria. I know you were just joking. We wouldn't be able to find work anyway. If the two of us ran off, we'd be starving in a month. You'd have to be blind not to see that. Right. Let's go home once the rain lets up. Yeah, once it does. But until then, I know. Let's sing. Sing even louder than the lightning. Then maybe you'll stop crying, Jacopino. I'm not crying. Come on, let's sing. They're actually singing. Oh. What happened? It seems to be so close as children. Maria, I may not put it into words, but I trust you understand that I consider you a dear friend. Listen to me, Jacopo. My actions were justified. I did what I did for the betterment of the city, this land. The Campanellas are too conservative. Under their control, this country will atrophy. Progress will continue to lose steam. If we don't push forward, we'll fall further and further behind. Before long, you'll be made next Capo Familia. But until that day, you will cross over to the New World and establish the Casca there. Unify us, bolster us, make us strong. I'll handle things back here. I won't let the Campanellas try and strike back. What? You want Maria to It's dangerous to keep a campanella so close by. She has to be taken care of. If you insist, but do not let your guard down. Betrayal is a constant companion in this world. I'm giving you my revolver. Keep it on you at all times. What a Chad, father. Glory everlasting upon our blood and upon this earth. Oh, what a Chad. What a Chad, father. Chad, dad. The best I can give you is a job as my maid. If I show you any more obviously preferential treatment, the Brazatis are liable to step in. Money, power, respect, and enough authority to not take orders from anyone. I thought that if I could obtain all that, I would be able to give you your freedom, and her as well. I want to give you both comfortable lives, but none of that got through to either of you. Oh, he's bleeding. Everything is slipping through my fingers. Her love, my friendship with Maria, both of the smiles. Master, what was that sound? So much blood. Maria? What happened this time? That reaction. You keep getting stuck witnessing the worst things. What? What? Call a doctor, someone with tight lips. Do not call the police and don't make a scene. Got it? If so, then go on. Yes, sir. Right. Not everything has slipped from my grasp. My money and influence are all that's left. That is what you wanted, though, is it not? You sought money and power, no? Aren't you going to go? Yes, I will. But first, I would like to ask you something. What do you intend to do from here? What I'm gonna do? Exactly. The same as before. There is but one thing for me to do. I see. Will you eventually find solace in your riches? The way I see it, money's power can be your ally, but it can become your enemy in the blink of an eye. No way it ends this way. If you do not put them into words, your feelings will never make it through to anyone. For unlike money, humans are not measurable by their appearance. He failed to communicate to anyone what he held within his breast. He was chained down by his place in society, his pride, his relationship, and his own art. And at some point he found himself in a position where he was no longer able to speak his mind. After enough time, he likely forgot how to be genuine at all. Or perhaps someone like him simply would not, even if they knew how. In any event, there are many things in this world that cannot be communicated without being put into words. How sad that his tale should end without him expressing how he truly felt. So annoying, dude. So misfortune, actual misfortune. That's how it ends. How hard it must have been to never clear up his misunderstanding. After Jacopo's confrontation with Maria, the Pacific Railway was completed as scheduled. Celebratory cheers shook the new world as the last spike was driven into the rails. Jacopo, however, could not even manage a smile listening to the telegraph, and I'm sure you can take a guess to why. The people with whom he wished to share that moment were not there. Shortly following her death, Jacopo held a private funeral for Maria. Then he commenced a search for the white-haired girl, but he did not do so alone. He hired others to help. Did everything in his power to find her, tirelessly searching for many, many years. However, he never was able to locate her, and he spent the remainder of his life alone. Money, power, renown, servant. The world around him was always quite lively, but solitude was his only companion. He waited, and he waited, and he waited for the white-haired girl to return. The years crawled by, and with no family or loved ones at his side to care for him in old age, he died alone. What a bitter ending. What a disgusting ending. It's not even bittersweet, it's just bitter. God damn it, man. I'm actually pissed. Okay, that's chapter 3. Holy. And that will be the unfortunate end for this video. I know today was a special long one, but I really want to push through and end this because I was super fascinated and I had to know how this story end. So obviously this was the end of Act 3. And yeah, I'm super pissed. I have nothing else to say, honestly. I'm so sad that this is the way it ended. Jacopo ended up dying alone, never finding her, and actually saying sorry. And clear all that this misunderstanding that happened between them. My god, this was... I know every story ended poorly, so I really did kind of hope this one would end well. Unfortunately, it ended just like the others, which makes me think I don't know, maybe isn't a happy ending in this game. Ah man, god damn it, I'm so emotional right now. I really can't think of things to say honestly, but yeah, I know we're gonna okay. It's kind of funny to think about it. Like I really wished this was actually a good ending because I was so invested in the story. But I guess this wasn't the case, and sometimes it happens. It's a great story nonetheless. I enjoyed it a lot for sure. But I guess we'll have to push through. I believe what is, I don't know, maybe the final act? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are more acts, but this game certainly feels long. Definitely played for quite a lot of hours at this point. So maybe the last act is, the next act is the last one, but could potentially be more. But I guess we'll know, know next time in the next few episodes. But that's all for now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.